I'll be honest, the first time I tried a cheap countertop ice maker that promised big ice for a couple $100, I ended up with half-size cubes that melted faster than a summer snowflake. I spent a whole weekend restocking the bar for a small gathering, only to watch the ice disappear while guests were still waiting for drinks. That kind of buyer regret is why I pause before dropping cash on any commercial-grade ice machine. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The question I keep hearing from people who run a busy bar, a catering kitchen, or even a large family household is, can I get a reliable, high-volume ice source without ending up with a machine that breaks down after a few months or spits out misshapen ice that looks like it belongs in a science lab? That's exactly why I dug into the Manitowoc IYT1200W Indigo NXT. This isn't a countertop gadget you tuck under a kitchen counter. It's a 30-inch, water-cooled half-dice ice maker that's meant to sit in a commercial back-of-house space. The thing that immediately caught my eye was the promise of up to 138 liters of ice production. That translates to roughly 300 pounds of ice per day, which is the kind of output a small restaurant, a hotel minibar, or a busy event venue actually needs. It's a massive jump from the 30-pound-per-day models that hobbyists buy, and it forces you to ask yourself whether that volume is overkill or exactly what you need. Let's talk about who really benefits from a machine like this. If you're a bar manager who has to keep a constant stream of half-dice ice for cocktails, you'll notice the difference the moment the first batch rolls out. Half-dice ice is the sweet spot for mixed drinks. It cools quickly but doesn't dilute as fast as small cubes, and it fits neatly in most glasses. The IYT1200W's custom programming lets you set the machine to produce a specific amount of ice based on anticipated traffic, which means you can schedule a 30-minute production run before the dinner rush and have a steady supply without constantly checking the bin. For a catering operation that needs to prep dozens of trays of shrimp cocktail or a buffet lined with seafood, that kind of predictability can be a lifesaver. The water-cooled design also means the unit runs quieter and stays cooler under continuous use, something you'll appreciate when the kitchen is already humming with ovens and fryers. On the flip side, if you run a small coffee shop that only needs a few pounds of ice a day for iced lattes, this machine is probably more than you need. The upfront cost, installation requirements for a dedicated water line, and the space it occupies could easily outweigh the benefits. In those scenarios, a smaller air-cooled unit or even a bulk ice bag supplier might make more sense. The same goes for home users. Unless you're hosting weekly large-scale parties or you've got a home bar that rivals a nightclub, the IYT1200W will sit idle for most of the week, eating up electricity and taking up precious floor space. Now, the practical strengths. First, the easyTouch display. Unlike the cryptic button combos on older models, this interface walks you through cleaning cycles, ice output settings, and even alerts you when the water filtration needs attention. I watched a video of a bartender using it during a busy shift, and they were able to adjust the output on the fly without stepping away from the bar. The second big win is maintenance. Commercial ice makers are notorious for being a pain to clean, but the IYT1200W's design includes a quick-release bin and a self-draining system that helps flush out mineral buildup. In a real-world setting, that means the maintenance crew can finish a cleaning in about 15 minutes instead of an hour, freeing them up for other tasks. The third advantage is durability. The unit's stainless steel exterior and water-cooled condenser are built to handle the constant on-off cycles you see in a restaurant kitchen, and the half-dice shape is less prone to jamming than traditional cube makers. No product is without its trade-offs, though. The biggest practical weakness I found is the installation footprint. You need a 30-inch wide space, a dedicated 208-volt line, and a proper water line with a drainage hookup. For businesses that don't already have a plumbing stub nearby, retrofitting can add a few $1,000s to the overall cost. Also, because it's water-cooled, you have to monitor the water temperature and quality more closely than you would with an air-cooled unit. If your water source is hard or fluctuates in temperature, you may see occasional hiccups in ice formation that require a filter change or a slight adjustment in the programming. Finally, the noise level, while lower than many air-cooled machines, is still noticeable. In a quiet boutique hotel lobby, the gentle hum can be heard if the unit sits directly against a wall without proper insulation. A real-world scenario helps put this into perspective. Imagine a mid-size restaurant that serves a popular, ice-topped seafood platter. The chef needs a steady flow of half-dice ice to keep the platter